Alright, welcome guys to the videos on logical functions. So how can we make use of logical functions in DAX? So let's say for example, we have a lot of logical functions, and when they say logical functions, it means how you can apply your own understanding to the particular requirement that you want to meet up with. So if you have something you want to calculate, then you have to think in your own way. So when it comes to logical functions, the way you are going to think about it may be different from how I'm going to think about it. At the end of the day, we might actually get, or we may get, the same result, but the way that we are going to apply, or the function that we are going to apply, or the kind of approach that we are going to apply may be different. So the point is that we are going to be working with our brain and provide a logic as to how we want the DAX functions to work. So let's try a couple DAX functions and see how they actually work as far as the logical function is concerned. So let's say for example, we want to try out the AND. Let's start with the AND. So I'm going to create a new measure as to columns and tables. So because I want to have a singular result, that is what we use the measures for. We use measure to have a summary, like to have a overall result. So instead of having the information per row, if you can remember, the last time that we created that we used the concatenate function, it is concatenating per row. So if I want to have just a singular result, then I can simply say, hey, I want to have a measure. So let me create a measure and see how it works. So I'm creating a new measure, then I'm going to be saying this is going to be for and logical. So I'm going to call this and logical. So how do we use the and logical function in Microsoft Power BI or in data analysis generally? So when they say and means two conditions must be true. So if I say and, then the first thing is asking me is the logical. What is the first logical test? 2 greater than 3, comma, then I'm going to say 7 is greater than 9. Now in this case, what I'm trying to ask DAX, or the kind of logic that I'm trying to get my answer from, is that hey, 2 is greater than 3 and 7 is greater than 9. That means I'm very sure that 2 is greater than 3 and 7 is greater than 9. So if I run that, then I'm going to have a calculated value. So 2 is greater than 3, 7 greater than 9. Let me see what is coming out. So it has been calculated, which is a measure. Then there is a function, there is a visual called CAD. So we use CAD to visualize a singular value. So now let me see the result. Let me put the AND logical inside of the CAD. Then the AND logical says false. That is, what I'm trying to say is false. 2 is greater than 3, 7 greater than 9. Then the function is telling me now, no, this is not true. That is, 2 is not greater than 3, 7 is not greater than 9. Now let's see, what if one of the condition is true? 9 is greater than 3, obviously. 7 is not greater than 9. But we are using the AND function. Don't forget, AND function means the two condition. So you can write a comment in Power BI desktop using double hyphen. The two condition must be true. When they say a comment, it's just to explain your code. So it cannot run. It's not going to run with your code. So the two condition must be true. That is when you are using the AND. So now in this case, if I run it, then I'm still going to realize that this guy remains false because one of the condition is not true. So I still have false. One of the condition is not true because 7 is not greater than 9. Now in a situation when I say 10 greater than 9, 9 greater than 3, and 10 greater than 9, then if I run this, then I'm going to have true because now the two condition is now true. The two statement is true. 9 is greater than 3 and 10 is greater than 9. So anytime you are using the AND function, the two condition must be true. It is important. Both of them must be true. Now, when I use the OR function, let's try the OR function. So what the OR function basically do is to test if one of them is true. If one of them is true, then it is fine. If the two of them is true, then it is fine as well. So now in this case, 9 greater than 3 or 10 greater than 9. So is 9 greater than 3 or is 10 greater than 9? Then this guy is going to say true. Now if I say, let's say for example I put 7. 7 is not greater than 9. So I'm saying 9 greater than 3, which is true, 7 greater than 9, which is false. So if you have true, false in OR, it is still going to return true because one of the condition is true. So in this case, one condition must be true. That is the OR statement. Where you are going to have problem in OR is if the two condition is not true. So now 2 is not greater than 3 and 7 is not greater than 9. Then you're going to have false because either of the condition is not true. So this is how to use the AND OR in Microsoft Power BI Desktop and in DAX. You can also now combine it with your formula. As we are working ahead, we're going to see how we can put that in real place. So now in the sense of NOT, we have another function called NOT. What the NOT function is going to do basically is to say, hey, this thing is not true. So not this guy is not true, not 4, not 5, or we can say how can I put it, 7 greater than 5. So if I say 7 greater than 5, if I'm using the NOT function, I'm basically saying that 7 is not greater than 5. So what the NOT function is going to do basically is to negate, that is, it's going to give you the opposite value of what you're supposed to get. 7 greater than 5, then this guy is going to tell you no. Because normally 7 is greater than 5, right? 7 greater than 5, true. We are supposed to have true. But if you are using the NOT function, then you are going to have the opposite of true, which is false. That is, you are trying to say 7 is not greater than 5. Then that guy is going to return 4. That is, no, you are saying the wrong thing. So we use NOT together with, as you can see, it is not coming in form of like fx. It is like not direct function. So you can put it together when you are writing a function formula. So this is a very simple way to use the AND or and NOT function or logical function in Microsoft Power BI Desktop and using DAX. Now let's see how we can make use of an advanced function when it comes to logic. So if you are testing logic, we have a function called the if function. So the if function is used if you are trying to test if a statement is true and what should happen if that statement is true. So let's say, for example, we want to create a column that basically groups our sales. So if the sales is greater than 10,000, we want to say I sales. So I'm going to create a new column and say, hey, if, let's say this is called the sales status, I'm going to call this sales status. So if the statement is true, I'm going to say if the logical test now, if the sales, that is the financial sales that I have, if the sales is greater than 10,000, then what should happen? I want a result. What should be the result? I want I sales. So since it's a textual value, then you have to put it in string. So if the sales is greater than 10,000, then give me I sales. If not, what should happen? So I want to group it into 3 different categories. Assuming I have just 2, high sales and low sales, then I'm just going to go ahead with result if false. That is, if the condition is not true, then give me low sales. So that means anything lower than 10,000 is going to return as low sales. That is basically what this guy is going to do. If the financial sales is greater than 10,000, high sales. But if it is not, then give me low sales. So you're going to have high and low sales. But in a situation whereby they tell you, hey guy, we want you to group, if the sales is between 5,000 and 10,000, then we want to call it medium sales. This guy is greater than 10,000. That means he's starting from 10,001. So from 5,000 to 10,000, we want to group it as medium. So in that case, that means you have to add more if function. That is, we still have more logical test to we still have more logic to test. So immediately after the if sales is greater than 10,000, I sales, then we're going to put another if because we have more condition. So if the sales, now you cannot say between, you have to test your logic. So that's why I said it in the beginning of the video that the way you are going to test your logic may be different from mine. So now, if we say between 5,000 and 10,000, between 5,000 and 10,000 can be greater than 5,000, greater than or equals to 5,000. So greater than equals to 5,000 is basically between 5,000 and between equals to or greater than or equals to 5,000, and then it's going to stop immediately it gets to 10,000 because there is another function that is testing greater than 10,000. So in this case, I can say if it is greater than or equals to 5,000, greater than or equals to 5,000, that is anything that is equals to or greater than 5,000, then give it medium sales like this. You can put it like that, or you can just say, hey, if anything is less than, you can put that anything that is less than 5,000, then we want to call it low sales. Anyhow you can think about it. So this basically means that if the sales is greater than 10,000, give me high sales. If it is less than 5,000, give me low sales. Then if the value is not greater than 10,000 and it is not less than 5,000, then what does it mean? It means the value between 5,000 and 10,000. Now I want you guys to get it perfectly. If the sales is greater than 10,000, give me high sales. If it is lower than 10,000, give me 5,000. So that means basically I'm saying from 10,001, 10,002, 11,000, 12,000, 15,000 should be high sales. Then the second condition is less than 5,000, that is 4,000, 3,000, 2,000, 1,500, and so on and so forth. But this function is not covering 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, and 10,000 itself, because this one is greater than 10,000. Now I'm going to say if the two condition is not met, that is if it is not greater than 10,000 and less than 10,000, then give me medium sales. That is going to be the value if false. Then at the end of the day, I'm just going to run the function or run the query. Then at the end of the day, you're going to have high sales, low sales, and medium sales. So to confirm if it is working, so high sales because what? Because the sales, where is the sale? The sales is greater than 10,000 in this case. Then it is telling us medium sales. Let us trace the medium sales. The medium sales is because we have 9,000. So 9,000 is less than, or it is between 5,000 and 10,000. Then when you say low sales, let's see if we have any low sales. So we have a low sales here. So low sales because what? Because it is 4,981 and it is less than 5,000 based on the condition that we've stated here. So we have different ways by which we can use our if function. We can also try it on, let's say for example, the segment. So in this case we have we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 segments. So we can group the segment anyhow we want it. We can say, hey, for example, create a new column, then we are going to call it segment status. Waiting for that to load up. All right, so let's call this segment status. So for the segment status, we are going to say if again. So if segment equals, because we are not testing greater than, equals enterprise. So you have to make sure it is written exactly the way it is there. Equals to enterprise, then we want to call them first class customer. So any customer that is coming through the enterprise segment, they are our first class customer, comma, then if again, if they are channel partners, if segment equals channel partners, make sure it is written exactly the same way, channel partners, then what to call them the second class customer, comma. So let's say if they are mid-market, then we're going to put another if segment equals mid-market, that is if the customer is coming from the mid-market, then we want to call them standard class. Standard class customer. Then if they are not any of this, that is not, they are not enterprise, they are not channel partners, they are not mid markets, then we want to call them ordinary customer or first time customer, something like that. You can put anything at all. First time customer. So close up your bracket 3 times because you open 3 if functions. You close up your bracket 3 times, then at the end of the day a new column is going to be calculated. So we have a new column that is calculated. Then we have customer segment, which is giving us the segment status. So this is how you can make use of the if function in Microsoft Power BI Desktop and DAX, and we can use it to combine or to write. Maybe you are testing textual values, or you are texting textual value, or maybe numbers, just like we did for sales. So see